Excuse me. What do I got here? So Fred, what's new with you?
Well, too much. They won't stop.
Just keep going around the Gould, eh?
Yeah. No. Cracked it in a piece of wood. Only a little bit.
Why did they change it to
Yeah, a piece of dry leaf coming out
Well,
of
that's
the top.
right.
Those are nice.
You never know where it's gonna come from. From like my work when I have-
814.
To me, it takes your vision.
Usually 16.
That's right over here.
That's way different.
I was back and way up and look
That's
to
a
see
good
what's going on. All that safety stuff for me is more dangerous.
Jeannie, who's that old man sitting next to
Because
you?
of where ear thing.
I don't see any
Oh,
old
Joy.
man.
Hey,
Look
Ron.
at that one.
Good answer.
How are you?
Good.
That looks great.
Oh, this for the website. Have you seen the website? HomeNewYork.com.
Is that you doing it, or you're just doing it for?
My nephew, my brother.
Must be special, I got you first.
You're in it.
That's enough on you.
Oh, is that, you're working on it? Yeah. That's fine.
How you think, Joe?
Not too bad.
Hey, Brian.
Printer's not printing? Printer's not printing? You can use something you want. Do you want that? Mm-hmm.
Anything online? We'll be back in a half hour.
That fuel been
That's something else.
Council,
I guess I don't know who you are. Introduce yourself.
I am John Revis with DevHubs.
Oh, okay, yep.
I mostly have been working in the Gordon Mountain region. They were short there, but I actually go to Plattsburgh, so I've been kind of wishing to get some work in Flint County instead.
Sure.
So they let me
Oh, good.
run around the bike.
Now, it used to be, Pompano?
Yeah, Pavano.
Yeah. Oh, is that?
Well, the new editor is Stephen Barber. He was an education reporter for the Press Republic for a long time. I'm helping out.
Oh, good. Glad to have you.
And
Larry Ross, the supervisor, yeah.
Great.
This is town board members, the highway superintendent. So, glad to have you.
Yeah, it is.
There's a copy for you.
All right. We'll call our meeting to order. Everyone, join me.
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Larry?
Here.
Ronnie?
Yes.
Jeannie? Here. Joey?
Yes.
And Herb?
Yes.
The organizational meeting, 2012. Date January 9th, 2012, time 7 p.m. at the Altona Town Hall, Altona, New York. Supervisor Ross called the meeting to order. Pledge of Allegiance, board members present. Supervisor Larry Ross, council members, Jeannie Bushy, Joey Snibe, Ronnie Labarge, Herbert Tarian. Others present, Deputy Supervisor Ellen Montgomery, Attorney Joseph Lavarando, Highway Superintendent Fred Tarian. Oaths of office were taken by new officials. Resolution number 1, official appointments. Motion by Jeannie, seconded by Ronnie. The motion was adopted. The following appointments for the 2012 year are as follows. Official town banks, National Bank and Trust, Ellenburg, New York, and Bank North, Chazy, New York. Official newspaper, Plattsburgh Press Republican. Deputy Town Clerk, Ellen Montgomery and Helen Russell. Deputy Tax Collector, Helen Russell. Records Management, Carol Relation. Register of Vital Statistics, Carol Relation. Deputy, Ellen Montgomery. Highway Superintendent, Deputy Nicole Tarian. Deputy Supervisor, Ellen Montgomery. Budget Officer, Larry Ross, at $535. Audit, the annual report, Danielle Purrier, $321. Clerk to the Town Justice, Darla Bilo, $2,898.50. Sandra Lambert, $2,898.50. Secretary to the Supervisor, Danielle Purrier, $31,726. Dog Control Officer, Lionel Purrier, $6,392. Custodian for the Town Hall, Gerald Fountain, $2,480. Town Attorney, Joseph Lavarando, $8,594. Code Enforcement Officer, Thomas Montgomery, $8,522. Zoning clerk, part-time, Bridget Coolidge, $2,898. Town historian, Bridget Coolidge, $517. Vote all ayes. Resolution number 2, board appointments. Motion by Ronnie, seconded by Jeannie. The motion was adopted. Board of Assessment Review members, 5-year terms. Christopher Belair, 9/2015. Crystal LaFave, 9/2016. Randy Beach, 9/2016. Marie Bulrus, 9/2012. Marianne Wood, 9/2013. Youth Commission, 3-year terms. Kimberly Lajway, 12/2013. Sam Lajway, 12/2014. Jamie Labarge, 12/2014. Mindy Guerin, 12/2014. Claire Lambert, 12/2014. Deanne Gregory, 12/2014. Zoning Board, 5-year terms. Ryan Blondo, 12/2012. Carlton Trudeau, 12/2015. Dean Lajway, Chairman, 12/2013. Rudy Lambert, 12/2016. Clerk of the Board, L. Bridget Coolidge. Alternate, L. Bridget Coolidge. Vote all ayes. Supervisor Ross appointed the following board members to be contacted for the following. Youth Commission, Jeannie and Joey. Park, Herb and Ronnie. Highway Department, Joey and Ronnie. Insurance, Herb and Jeannie. Senior Citizens, Ronnie and Jeannie. Resolution number 3, Park Manager. Motion by Jeannie, seconded by Joey. The motion was adopted to appoint Gail Wolcott for the 2012 year. Vote all ayes. Resolution number 4, Pre-audit authorization. Motion by Joey, seconded by Ronnie. The motion was adopted to authorize the supervisor to pay the bills not requiring a pre-audit as explained in section 118 of the town law. Vote all ayes. Resolution number 5, mileage. Motion by Joey, seconded by Ronnie. The motion was adopted to pay 40 cents a mile for approved travel for town employees. Vote all ayes. Resolution number 6, senior citizen bus. Motion by Ronnie, seconded by Leslie. Motion was adopted to approve the amount of $2,000 for travel for the senior bus group trip. Vote all ayes. Resolution number 7, annual financial report. Motion by Ronnie, seconded by Herb. The motion was adopted. The annual financial report to New York State is to be used as the supervisor's financial report. Vote all ayes. Resolution number 8, life flight. Motion by Joey, seconded by Jeannie. The motion was adopted. Authorization was given to the supervisor to enter into a contract with the North Country Life Flight for the purpose of providing emergency medical services for critically ill and severely injured patients of the community. The service is provided by the New York State Police helicopter based in Saranac Lake. The amount of $100 is approved, which represents the town's share for the 2012 year. Vote all ayes. Resolution number 9, highway superintendent dues. Motion by Ronnie, seconded by Joey. The motion was adopted. Approval to pay the annual dues in the amount of $150 for the New York State Association of Towns Superintendent of Highways. Vote all ayes. Motion to adjourn by Ronnie, seconded by Joey. Vote all ayes. Respectfully submitted, Carol Relation, Town Clerk.
Resolution 6. Second by
Yeah, I plan to start by that myself.
What?
You got seconded by Leslie instead of Ms. Benji.
What resolution, Joy?
6. It should be seconded by Leslie, that's, well, I'm sure
it's no big deal.
That's,
Must have been Jeannie.
it's.
no, I'm thinking what it is when I threw off the computer, I just didn't take her name off.
Well, somebody had a second, it must have been a female. That's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
I will look on my notes to see
Okay.
which one did it. Number 6. You can't get out of here scot-free, huh?
There.
All right, we ready for the regular town board meeting? Notes? Date, January 9th, 2012, time 7:40 PM at the Altona Town Hall, Altona, New York. Supervisor Ross called the meeting to order. All board members were present as previously noted. Minutes of the closeout meeting on December 29th, 2011 were read and accepted. Note, all meetings are scheduled for 7 PM with the exception of the closeout meeting, which is scheduled for 9 AM on December 28th, 2012. Motion by Joey, seconded by Jeannie, vote all ayes. Supervisor Ross gave the board members copies of the Code of Conduct, Procurement, and Investment Policies to review. They will be discussed at our next meeting. Resolution number 10, JCEO. Motion by Jeannie, seconded by Ronnie. Motion was adopted. The supervisor is authorized to sign the contract between the Joint Council for Economic Opportunity of Clinton and Franklin counties and the town of Altona. The town of Altona agrees to pay JCEO the sum of $19,668 for that portion of the Community Outreach Program for the period commencing December 1st, 2011 and ending November 30th, 2012. Vote all ayes. Resolution number 11, Association of Towns. Motion by Ronnie, seconded by Herb. Motion adopted. The supervisor is authorized to pay the Association of Towns the 2012 dues in the amount of $700. Vote all ayes. Resolution number 12, Approval of bills. Motion by Joey, seconded by Jeannie. The motion was adopted. To pay the bills as presented. General Fund, $37,732.88. Highway Fund, $2,405.73. Total, $40,138.61. Vote all ayes. Motion to adjourn by Jeannie, seconded by Ronnie. The vote all ayes. Respectfully submitted, Carol Relation, Town Clerk.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as read.
I'll second it.
And a vote, please. Jeannie?
Yes.
Herb?
Yes.
Ronnie?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Joey?
Yes.
Okay, first thing on the agenda, Judge Lambert's gonna do his annual report. Just give me a copy here. You're on.
My turn now?
Your turn.
Got a copy there.
Yep.
At the meeting, you all have a copy, okay? You should have a copy of that before, but you do. Our last entry check number was $5,528, and there it is, if anybody wants to see it. Pardon? And the last recorded deposit was February 13th of $140. And my last check to the town was $5,705. This is our bail money that we have in stock from different people, and this is my checkbook. You're welcome to go over anything you want. This is my last statement to the bank of $140.
Pass that down. So that agrees with what you just told us.
Oh, there.
Quickly.
Quickly.
So I was looking for. One of the glasses, you can't even see the numbers anymore. This one, got different kind of numbers on this.
There's the last one. Here.
Check it out.
And we have 151 tickets remaining in our court for traffic, B&T traffic. How many of those are 90? If beyond 90 days, we scalp them. That means it's gonna cost them an extra $70 if they want to go into their ticket within the time period. So, it's up to them.
And that's one of the things that's asked on that checklist, is what they do with it if they don't get it.
How long do we hold the bail, like the bail money?
Until it comes to a head, until the case is done with. And if it has to go to county court, grand jury, we usually fax it up, send it up to county court.
So what's the oldest one of the oldest ones that we have now?
It shows you right there,
On the top.
The
on the top,
Oh, okay.
top one.
Certain amount of time to get them over with here?
Oh, yeah, we'd like to, but the lawyers like to procrastinate sometimes, you know, after adjournments, you know, well,
Yeah.
you gotta, we have to work with them, but, you know.
Still in good order, yeah. I'll take that copy of the, thing so I can write my comments on there.
Anything else, any questions you wanna ask of me?
Anybody have anything? Looks like it's all over. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm just making up the minutes that we did that.
We'll just let them know.
Next thing I got on there, Clinton County Department of Personnel. I need approval for Danielle as typist for the assessor. We covered that before, and John had put in there, but we never made a resolution on it. So I need a resolution appointing Danielle as Johnny's typist, or the assessor's typist, I should say, effective 3/10/11.
So what is that, for like one night a week, or how do they?
No, it's every day. She
Oh.
does stuff every day when somebody comes in and needs something looked up or a paper given to them or something typed, she does it.
Need a motion, I'll make a motion.
Yeah, I'll second it.
And a vote, please. Joey?
Yes.
Ronnie?
Yes.
Herb?
Yes.
Jeannie?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes. We had quite a go-around with the personnel department, and it turned out it was justified on their part and also on ours. We were getting upset with them. We couldn't seem to, they kept coming up with stuff that you don't have this, you don't have that, and we sent it. Well, what we sent, our program wasn't putting out the same information on two different reports. So when we sent the report in, the name wasn't coming up on the one that we were sending them. So they were saying they didn't get it. I said, sure they got it, I got it right here. Well, it wasn't. There was like 2 or 3 little mistakes in our program. So we got that ironed out and got our certification for our payroll. with the exception of Amanda Baker, she was a lifeguard that was up here, and she didn't have the proper, one of the proper certificates that they wanted, but I can't get a hold of her. I don't know if she moved or what, nobody can find her any longer. So they just put certification, they just withheld it on her, so, which means that she just can't work again in that capacity until she produces that certificate. But we did amend some fences there with the personnel department and got things squared away. But it was pretty frustrating because we didn't, you know, unless we had to go right straight through that line by line, we never would have caught it. And they seemed to have picked up on Chris Blair working for the town. They said he doesn't work for the town. That was a rumor, and that made them mad that they were picking up on a rumor. I said he doesn't work for the town. He's training. Someday he might, but he doesn't at this point. And so we finally got that squared away because somebody was telling him he did. So it kind of created a little hard time getting that straightened out. Department of Transportation, they're gonna do a big project in Altona on Route 11. And it's part of this program to get New York State going again here, and they're trying to hurry with the respective getting this job bid out. They need some resolutions passed by us. The tentative letting date for the project is May 17th, so that's why we're in such a rush. The project begins on US Route 11 at a point approximately 968 feet southwesterly of the intersection of US Route 11 and Station Hill Road. Proceeds easterly along US Route 11 for a distance of approximately 3.01 miles, terminating at a point approximately 1,130 feet easterly of the intersection of US Route 11 with the Green Valley Road and Forest Road. What they're gonna do is mill and resurface, and they're going to do the 12-foot travel lanes and 8-foot shoulders. They're gonna redo all the shoulders also. And curbings and sidewalks. So drainage excavation, guide rail installation, concrete sidewalk construction, sign installation, pavement marking, as well as other miscellaneous construction will also take place throughout the project. Because of work scheduled to be done on this project, which will include minor construction and paving of intersection roads or short distances and sidewalk pre-construction, the following resolutions should be acted on by the town board at this time. An intersection road maintenance resolution pertaining to maintenance of the intersecting town roads which will be reconstructed or paved as part of the construction of this project. A sidewalk maintenance resolution pertaining to maintenance of sidewalks which will be reconstructed as part of the construction on this project. And then they gave us copies of them. And I read through them. The one with the paving, I don't really have a problem with. I don't know if you do, Fred. Let me just, I probably should read through this. It says, whereas in connection with the reconstruction of US Route 11, Ellenburg Phase 2, Clinton County, pin 7143.42, and under the provisions of Section 10, Subdivision 25 of New York State Highway Law, as amended, which provides in part that the Commissioner of the Department of Transportation shall have power to combine, connect, alter, relocate, terminate, and pave intersecting highways, roads, or streets, and also that maintenance of any highway, road, or street which is affected by the subdivision and which in the judgment of the Commissioner is not deemed to be part of the state highway system shall be maintained by the municipality or municipalities in which the streets or roads are located. And whereas the Commissioner proposes to improve US Route 11, Ellenburg Phase 2, Clinton County, in connection therewith to alter and pave the following roads or streets. The Con Road, that's at Conrad Road, gonna go 9/thousandths of a mile from the center line of a kilometer, I guess it's in kilometers. Candlelight Road West and Candlelight Road East. And it says, whereas said highway roads or streets are located within the town of Altona, and the judgment of the Commissioner of the Department of Transportation will not be deemed to be part of the state highway system. Now therefore be it resolved that the town of Altona approves the above described paving and altering of the town roads, and be it further resolved that upon completion of the construction of the above described roads or streets, the town of Altona will maintain such roads or streets in accordance with the provisions of highway law, and be it further resolved that the clerk of this board is hereby directed to to transmit 4 certified copies of the foregoing resolution to the New York State Department of Transportation. Do you see anything there that is a
All
problem?
they're doing is the intersection, they're saying, that's what they're saying, we gotta maintain like we always do after we put them in.
It sounds like that Conrad Road and the Candlelight Road,
Yeah,
so
just the
too,
intersection,
just the intersections.
that's all they're doing.
And we maintain those presently anyways, right? So that's not a problem to pass this
This is
resolution.
different we've been doing.
Okay. So, I'll take a motion on the paving part of it.
What do they have in there about sidewalks? There's no existing sidewalks.
That's gonna be in this one, I'll leave that one. This is just on the paving part. That's the problem I had too, was that one. So, it's okay to make a motion on this?
I'll make a motion.
No, this is, it's gotta be certified and all that good stuff.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
And a vote, please. Jeannie?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Joey?
Yes.
Ronnie?
Yes.
Herb?
Yes.
Now, I don't know on this thing, who they're talking about the sidewalks. You can pass that along, maybe you guys can look at that to see where the sidewalks were they're talking about, but,
You put a blue sidewalk in there, just taking care of the ones that were there.
well, did we have any though in the town of
I don't
Altona?
think so.
But they're
There
saying
might
that
be a
they,
little bit near it by, Fix the Stone. You go right up to the corner right there, that way,
Yeah.
might be a little bit.
it says here that the town of Altona approves the construction of sidewalks and the above-mentioned works performed in the project and shown on contract plans relating to the project of the town of Altona. Well, here's the part that bothers me, Fred, is it says, that we will maintain or cause to be maintained the relocated, reconstructed, and constructed sidewalks performed as above stated and is shown on the contract plans, including the control of snow and ice. Now, we don't currently go up there and do those sidewalks, so
We don't go up there, not that little guy.
I don't know.
Oh, you wanna look at it? Please. Thank you.
I don't know, does it show where they want those sidewalks? Are they gonna build new ones? I didn't happen to catch it on there when
Where you at?
I just got thinking about it. I said, I don't like the sounds of that, but I didn't read it.
Them are our sidewalks.
Yeah, but, well, if they're on there now, I didn't remember any on that end, but there might be on that side of the road.
Don't we own some, don't we own, there's not a part of Altona where you go up, turn right next to the restaurant there?
You go past that, there's sidewalks there.
Yeah, that's ours, isn't it? That's our area.
On our side, only on the right side.
2 or 3 houses,
Just after the Elmer gate.
goes up to the dam.
Only on the right side, right?
Yeah, it's on the right side.
Are there sidewalks all through there? 'Cause I can't remember. I don't think so.
I don't think so
Yeah, we're
either.
gonna take a look, see what we got first.
That's right by Wiley's.
Yeah, I don't think there's
I
sidewalks.
don't know what's up there for sure.
Do they show any going down by Sticks and Stones down that way?
Does that letter say that you're gonna add them here?
Well,
Or does it state that?
it says, whereas the state will include as part of the construction, reconstruction, or improvements of the above-mentioned project, the construction of sidewalks pursuant to section 10, subdivision 22, and section 140, article 7, subsection 18 of the highway law. The state will provide the construction of the above-mentioned work as shown on the contract plans relating to the project.
Sounds like you're gonna put them in.
Yeah, it says construction, it doesn't say reconstruction.
But I don't see,
Fence right here.
we don't have anything for snow and ice on our sidewalks. We don't have a sander for those. So if you agree to that, I think it's gonna mess us up as far as,
Who's gonna maintain them?
that's all it says.
Bullshit, this is way down.
What happened?
That's way
I don't know if it'll hold them up. That's the thing. So probably what I would have to do is, maybe I could pull it, or I don't know, once I discuss it. Maybe Lloyd can figure it out over there where they're talking about.
I don't
We can just own it.
I know a couple people that live up there, but I know, I don't think
If they want to put some sidewalks, we have some right here.
Well,
Use that.
we tried, so far we haven't got anything. What's that?
Sidewalks up there?
I don't think there are.
You know, I've come by there often. I don't.
Never looked to see.
No.
I know there is none, like when you turn to go up Route 11 on the right, there isn't anything, but on the left, I don't remember. I don't think there is. I don't think there's a sidewalk in there. Maybe they're gonna add them.
There could be by the minister's house going up there. I'm not sure.
The thing is, if they're revamping Route 11, I can't see them that they're gonna go up Canyon Hill.
Yeah.
On the sidewalk. Just doesn't make sense.
If they're gonna add sidewalks on Route 11, then we're better off to put a resolution in that people have to maintain their own, because they can't drive way up there to maintain a sidewalk. We're having a hard enough time with the ones we have here.
Put everything else in your briefcase.
There's a Route 11, there's one of those burnt out.
I think they're only gonna do 3 feet on the corner.
On the corner to just.
I don't know what's up there for sidewalks.
I don't, will you bring it?
I agree.
That's a long ways, though, that's a long ways.
We have to go up, let's see, some sidewalks.
I don't think we have any.
Can I table this one and then poll the board on it? Because I don't wanna, I wanna hold that whole project up. So, we poll the board on it, to pass this resolution.
Are they gonna put sidewalks in there, or they're talking about existing stuff?
Well, the way it talks, it's construction and reconstruction. So I didn't think to look on that plan ahead of time to see if sidewalks are mentioned. Well, what I need is to find out, what they have for sidewalks on there.
Is it showing what sidewalks in?
And,
No, it doesn't seem.
we can't accept the fact that we're gonna have to take care of it for ice and snow, snow and ice, because we don't have the capability of getting up there and taking care of those in a timely manner.
They have a representative too, I think, that'll come out and speak to this. We have the paperwork on this, if we don't mind out there. I think if you look at it, you'll find the numbers, and they'll come right out with you and show you exactly what they're gonna do. If you wanna do that, if you want, I can meet them over
There's no
there.
sidewalk right there.
There's nothing,
Yeah, no, you got Leonard Casey, but there was some.
there's nothing to
Pass
take
a
it
resolution
away,
accepting the project.
sticks and stones.
Yeah.
You know, little towns, all places.
Agreement. Removes the provision that requires the town to maintain.
You know, the whole house is like Eugene.
That's probably.
Yeah, I think just to
Yeah,
have that.
and this is,
Just to
pass a resolution.
That's a county road in yellow.
Well, that's,
They added on.
no, I can't sure see that. See how many trees. That's the thing, that's.
There aren't any sidewalks way down there, I know that, so it's gotta be more up toward Stacy's and closer to the village, wherever that little restaurant is right across the road.
Well, there is some there, that's Ellenberg's.
What's that?
That's the restaurant?
Yeah,
Past-
well, on the
past-
left side is Ellenberg, or past the left restaurant toward the schools.
Are you talking about any maintenance or just in the winter time?
Wintertime,
This is, John's.
we're not gonna take
Still down.
something to go way out there, they don't even have anything to carry it out there to level it out. Like here,
Well, the resolution would read everything except the control of snow and ice regulations. So
After the,
in other words, you pass that resolution, just eliminating the requirement.
Instead of saying including, it would be
Except.
accepted.
this is right here, the bank. So we're still.
In other words, if they needed repair, in summertime.
Yeah,
He says if it's not out of crack, you can do that, but what you're talking about, I believe, is in the winter.
Right.
Right there, see? Concrete sidewalk.
How long is it?
Is, well, that goes right from, right after the bridge. Let me see if they show it, yeah, it still comes back.
See, they got sidewalks up there by the bridge.
So this is coming
That's
back
all.
by sticks and stones. So, yeah, it's,
We've been putting quite a bit in.
I don't see anything after, sidewalk there. No. Looks like it's just down after, Drowns, well, just up the, just
Drones,
the corner
up there.
that short section right there. But it's just talking about maintaining it, right? Not replacing it or,
Well, yeah, replacing, it's, they said
oh,
construct.
replacing, all. That's what they're
But
specifying.
it says maintaining,
So the state will include as part of the construction, reconstruction, or improvements of the above-mentioned project, the construction of sidewalks. So, I don't know what they have on there, like, they do show that they're putting some on there then.
Well, I mean, it shows that it's here.
What's there?
It doesn't say that it's being replaced that I can see. Sidewalk ramp, type A.
I mean, you're not gonna do it.
Yeah, yeah. It's just on the main. Yeah, maybe if we investigate this.
We could, what we could do, Joe brought up the idea that we could get down past this, instead of where it says including the control of snow and ice, put excluding control snow and ice, because the summertime we could, you know, if they tore up part of it or something, we could fix it, but the snow and ice thing, we can't, so
Right.
we can change that, put excluding, and see if that makes them happy. It wouldn't hold up the project. Anybody have a problem with that?
If they accept
They
it.
will.
Yeah. They know.
They probably will have trouble with it, but
I'm sure we'll get some feedback.
Sure.
we'll put excluding on there, and then we'll take a motion to accept this resolution as amended, I guess, what you'd have to say. I never thought to look these sidewalks up in here.
I'll make a motion to accept it as rewritten. As rewritten, yeah, there you go.
All right, now, so this is a separate one than the transportation project.
Correct.
We got two resolutions here.
We need to vote on this.
I'll second that, Carol.
Okay. And a vote, please. Larry?
Yes.
Ronnie?
Yes.
Jeannie?
Yes.
Herb?
Yes.
Joey?
Yes.
That was a rush. Next thing, number 4 on your agenda, mobile constructors. They called us when the windmill caught fire up here. I still don't know the exact cause of it. They were looking into lightning, they were looking into all kinds of stuff. The rumors were lightning, I don't know. But at any rate, they had called, it got real icy down in there and they couldn't get in with equipment, so they'd asked if we would sand it. And we did, and then I sent them a bill for the use of the load of sand for $80, the truck $80, and 2 hours of overtime for Jason, so it came up to $209.68. Just to let you know, if people say, well, how come you're sanding their stuff? Well, they couldn't get in, and we did it with a price tag. Clinton County Highway Department, bid pricing has been obtained for the following materials and services which may be obtained through contracts with Clinton County Highway Department for the year 2012. Asphalt materials and delivery, crushed stone, sand and gravel, culvert pipe and fittings, diesel, unleaded gas and heating oil, drug and alcohol testing, transit mixed concrete, road salt, rental of manpower and equipment. Pricing for road recycling products and traffic zone paint will be bid early spring with pricing available thereafter. These contracts are open to all municipalities. In here, they got the pricing on, from, it's asphalt, concrete, materials and delivery. Yeah, gray melt materials. And I guess it wouldn't mean a heck of a lot to us, it does to Freddie. For our area, which would be a binder, type 3 binder is $42.29 per ton, or $47.54 a ton if they deliver it. And type 6 top is $44.97 a ton, $50.22 if they deliver it. And type 7 top, $49 and $54.25 if they deliver. I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's what the price is.
$4 a ton this year.
Went up 4.
We use that type 6.
And then they had culvert pipes here, the different prices of the culvert pipes. Now, I asked also, because I got caught up into that contract before, but these are all individual contract. You don't have to say anything, you just say, if you go there, well, I'm buying it on the county.
Yeah.
And we wanna be careful of those contracts. I don't wanna get back into that one with CNGS again. I think that's what it is, CGS or OGS, isn't it? Yeah, OGS. Because, I'll cover that in a minute, that got pretty expensive for us. The next thing under mobile power, and I don't think we can do anything about it right now anyways, now that I think about it. They have a provision in their, what do you call this, a special use permit, or, let me see what it's called. Yeah, special use permit. When they put those in, the permanent width of the access road shall be limited to 12 feet, and the temporary width of the access road shall be limited to 30 feet. Well, there's a problem with that, because a lot of landowners want them to leave it the way they had it. They got it wide, and they would just leave them that way. So they wanted it changed, but I think we better run that through the zoning board, so that they can, anybody have a problem with that here, as long as it's agreed to with the landowner? Would you have a problem with it, Fred, leaving them wider? But I think as long as this is a special use permit, it better go back through the zoning board, not us. So I'll save that for them, if that's what's going on with that. To date, we've collected $443,003.13 from our Noble Power wind park.
Can you give that figure again?
Yeah, $443,003.13. And that's their pilot payment and their,
That's for 2011.
this is as of now, this is for 2012. And if we get royalties, we'll get them in April. Purdy Road update, we got another bill here for $3,887.38, brings our total for that $11,705. Apparently, the opposing attorneys need a little bit more time to react to the materials that were sent to them, and they figured that the materials should be back by March, and the argument period should start about April 5th, somewhere in that neighborhood. Light replacements. Well, we got these old lights that are gonna have to be replaced, and I know the other ones are a lot more energy efficient. The quote from the gentleman that came said, he would replace them with the balance would be $3,186.66. But there's some questions I have as to what he's putting up for materials. I've had some comments that there may not be top-notch materials, and I don't wanna just settle for that. I got a local quote with a guy putting materials and labor of $4,012.67. And there was another one that's supposed to come in and didn't. And what I'd like to do is go price them myself and see what they are. I don't think it's very much to change them. They're all just 4-foot lights and probably can do it myself. Or, you know, a couple guys get together and do it. But I'd like to check that first before we do too much with it. We do need to have them done, but I don't wanna put the money out to do them and then turn around and have them all burned out because they had junk materials, so. I'm gonna check in carefully on that and also, what they'll be to replace them. Can't be that hard, you know, I mean, get the same size, they fit right in there, it's just different. I think what, so 2 wires in there each time, so I don't think it'd be too big a deal. So, he called me today to see if we're gonna go with him, he'll call back tomorrow, but I'm not gonna commit to anything yet.
How expensive though, even to buy them yourself with a decent light,
Yeah,
especially the 4-bulb.
they're changing them from, I think they're,
210.
I didn't bring any other paper. They're T12s to T8s, that's what we got.
T8.
But I don't know the difference in the quality of them until I get to some place and find out.
Like the T12, you know, we don't use them anymore because of the price of them.
Yeah, well, they're not gonna even have them anymore.
Right. They go away with them.
But I don't wanna have this guy come and put something in that's gonna be gone by the time he gets to Plattsburgh. I heard that a couple of times, so it's made me a little leery, so we'll hold off. I wanna go in and shop in there a little bit and see what we can come up with for quality even, you know. Procurement policy, I just put one in your packet. This is worded exactly the same as the other, except for the amounts of money. Guideline number 2, you notice the difference, it went from 10,000, and then 20,000 is 20 and 35. I mean, this was an old policy here, so we're updating the numbers, making them a little more fit the times a little better. Guideline 3 also went from 10,000 up to 20. And way you can see the changes, you had your old ones. It's pretty generic form other than that, it's just the amount of money that before you have to put up a bid and stuff like that have changed. And I think this is a lot better than the one I gave you to take home with you, because it's more up to date. Anybody see if, I need a motion to adopt this if you agree with it and get done looking it over.
You got a motion for it, right?
Yeah.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
And a vote, please. Joey?
Yes.
Jeannie?
Yes.
Herb?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Ronnie?
Yeah.
Next was a code of ethics. I'd like to table this simply because I'm going to a meeting next Wednesday. There's a gentleman coming up from the state going to talk about this. And there may be a necessity for a board, and there may be, there's all kinds of different requirements. Rather than just accepting what we have here, I think I would rather wait and see if there's any changes we need to make to it before we do. And
Is the meeting, you said next Wednesday or this Wednesday?
it's the 3rd Wednesday.
Oh, this,
supervisors meeting.
that would be this coming up, this one.
This would be what, this is.
Oh, the next-
This
This
is
is
second Monday, so.
second,
the next.
next week.
Okay.
Thought I didn't know what I was talking about, didn't you?
No, it's, because I hadn't noticed, I was,
Third Thursday,
from town, Deacontown, it was gonna be, this one.
yeah. It's this Wednesday is the third Wednesday, because this
Yeah.
Thursday is the third Thursday.
How can it be? This is only a second. Well,
Because
maybe
the
because
first
second
is
Monday.
on
It's the
Wednesday.
first
Yeah,
is on
it's-
Wednesday.
It's third Wednesday, the
Yeah.
15th.
Okay, stand correct.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Well, it'll be the 15th, guess I didn't know what I was talking about. I had you fooled for a while.
there by your
I had you fooled for a while. I got it on my calendar. At any
It's
rate,
in 2012.
whenever they have that meeting, it's going to be on code of ethics. And there's gonna be people there that are gonna explain it all, what towns should have and what you should do with code of ethics. Gotta be, supposed to be handed out to everybody that works for the town and with the town. And we've done it, I mean, every year, just that I wanna see if there's something that we aren't doing before we accept it. And then we'll bring it back up next meeting. So we'll table that one. We got a report back on the assessor. And in this report, they show the mean and the median and all that, all the figures. If the figures are between 95 and 105, that's right where we should be, that's right on target. And his numbers are not a point 97203 and 0.96753, just about perfect. So I think the report was even better than Johnny thought it would be. So we're pretty satisfied with that. Just to let you know, he's doing a good job. He's got it right where it belongs. And it does seem to be working out well. He takes everything with him. His computer is with him. He's tied in with Danielle. She gets any questions she gets here that isn't just a run-of-the-mill question. She gets right on the phone with him. He takes right over, and we haven't had any problems. So it's working anyways, even though he's not sitting right here all the time. And if he needs to, he just jumps on the plane, comes home, fixes whatever kind of problem, so. During this last month, we had an issue with a dog. Somebody called the state police on cruelty to an animal. And state police went there, and then they couldn't get our dog control officer, so they got the one from the town of Morris. I think he got impatient sitting there. Well, the guy from the town of Morris went to pick the dog up. It's mandatory, once the state trooper tells you to, you have to pick it up, so he did. Well, he takes the dog from here, he stopped and told me he had the dog, and I was trying to see if there's any other way we could wait for Lionel, but there wasn't, because the state trooper, by law, he had to take it. So he takes the dog, and during the night, or the next night, I guess, the dog passed away. So it left us in quite a dilemma. So because it happened like that, they had to send it to the vet, get an autopsy and all that good stuff. So in your folders, I put the report from the vet. I didn't get one at first. I called and asked for it. The price of it, we had to pay $37 for an exam. Autopsy was $60 and burial was $25, so it's $122, which are in our bills to pay. Then I submitted this bill to the judge, so he knows what we have into it. So if he gets it back, then it'll come back through there.
Did you find out who the dog owned?
Yeah, they took it right from the guy's house. It
Oh,
was
okay.
tied outside and cold, so they took it right from the house. And what all this boils down to is my assessment is that this dog died from a sudden cardiac event. The emancipated condition probably contributed to the event. So that's our best information that we have as to why the dog passed away. He was I guess he was thin, he didn't have enough fat to fight the cold off, and it was when we had that real cold stretch here, so. I don't know. That's just what the
Are we gonna be liable to the dog's owner for?
Not us, because I didn't call him. I mean, the state troopers called him, and the dog control officer said he had no choice. Once the state trooper called him, he had to take it. And once it passed away, then he had to have an autopsy because, you know, to show what, that he didn't just shoot it or something, I guess, but to show that something happened to it. So that's, if you hear anything on that, that's where we went with it. In your folders, I also put a copy of the monies collected by the Clinton County Treasurer's Office and given to the town of Altona. And that's for the whole year, for 2011.
The total you're referring to is 351, 83.
Yeah,
Now, the sales tax credited for 2011 is 299,722. Is that,
there's 3 sheets. Did I give you all 3 sheets? I don't think I did.
No.
I would have to check and see.
Okay, that's what the problem is. This sheet right here has got the, okay. They had a shortfall in 2009 and 10 of 10,196.33. And that brought it to 309,918.33. Actual 2011 sales tax received 307,764.46, so they still have a shortfall of 2,153.87. But he said that if they're gonna carry it over to 2012, he said they look like they're having a good year already in 2012, so they figure they can make that shortfall up.
I guess my question was, does the total of 351,83 include the sales tax of 299,722?
It's, did you get this last sheet?
No. I've got the second sheet.
You-
Right, but I'm talking about the total at the bottom of the page of 351,83. And my question is the sales tax credited to the town?
No, it's two different things.
So we got both.
Well,
Got the sales tax.
that's all they've taken in. I mean, that's the same money we use all the time in our budget. It's just that, given this sheet, maybe I'll explain.
He's got it.
We got it. So, we're still short of 2,153.87, which they said they'll carry over to 2012 and hopefully make up, rather than give you a bill. I guess what happens is they make their estimates in the first of the year, they collect tax all throughout the year, and so, if they come up short, then rather than give us a bill, they carry it over until they can make it up. But you can see up here where it says sales tax payment, 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not the same as regular sales tax, it's just like everything that comes in for the county. And if I left out a page on you, no, you got it, right? You got it, okay. It's just 2 pages.
Yeah.
2 pages, yeah. Somebody questioned that, so they put more information on here than they needed, but it was confusing. Once they got it, it was confusing. It's, what do you mean shortfall? We got some of our money, so I said, instead of sending them a bill, we try to make it work its way out. So, that's what happens on that. Fuel, okay, we got a problem here with fuel because, most of you can remember, I fought going to, we had Smith & Sons originally, and I was happy at Smith & Sons. They stayed right with the state contract price and everything was fine. They lumped all these, a bunch of stuff together. We signed a contract in it. What's the name of that, OG? Yes.
Is it a state contract that you're talking about?
Yeah, so it was OGS, is it?
OGS?
That's what it is, right? Yeah, with the contract. I wasn't switching, and I didn't realize I had to. The fuel company said, hey, you gotta get it from me. I said, no, I don't wanna switch. And, well, they kept it up. I didn't realize that, yeah, you are gonna switch. Because they got attorneys after me and everything to switch. I said, well, geez, all right, I didn't realize. So anyways, the new state contract went to Griffith Oil. So I called the guy up, I said, well, we're paying too much for fuel. And he says, he looked at how much it was. No, you're not. He says, diesel is $3.3266, 3.3266. And I said, yeah. And Smith's was the same, would have been the same thing, 3266. The only difference is Griffith Oil, because it's state contract, and they get their fuel out of the south apparently, they're required by the state to mix it 50/50 with kerosene. So once you go throwing that kerosene in there, the price of that kerosene was $3.77 a gallon. So that jacked the price way up. So I called Smith and Son to find out what their price was at that same billing period where I was paying, well, I ended up paying $3.55 a gallon. I would have been paying $3.35, but theirs isn't cut with kerosene at all, but they get it out of the north. And they said we've never had to cut it. It's always, they don't know if it comes through cut or it just doesn't require it, I don't know. Our trucks are parked inside, they got heaters for the fuel, right? That once they're started, it heats its own fuel.
Newer ones, yeah.
Do we need to have that cut?
Not that much, not 50/50.
Just,
If it gets really, really cold, I really don't have to cut, you never know.
but I mean, with that requirement on there, they're pounding us with the fuel price. 700 gallons, we paid $100 more than we would have paid if we bought it through Smith and Son. He runs all his diesel trucks off it, and they're parked outdoors. So I don't, and Morris uses,
kerosene in new trucks?
Yeah.
It doesn't bother them?
Unless you get like 15 or 20 below, the wind hit the tank.
Yeah, pickup trucks.
They don't gel.
Can't run off.
They come out of the garage anyway, they're moving.
once they're moving, once that heater starts, I wouldn't think it'd be a problem.
Right.
They just cut it with kerosene.
I just
You
think
said they were cutting it 50/50.
Oh, no, the contract is up, I checked that, contract time is
It's
up.
only 15 gallon there.
So we should be able to switch.
Smith and Griffin's, but they were using.
What did you have to give us, a year's
kerosene? That's what brought
I
it up.
don't remember the length of the contract, but it ran out already, so.
Yeah, right.
But nobody said anything, so they were just letting it ride the way it was. But once I checked, I found out, so I called him up to see if he had a different one that we didn't have a copy of. He didn't, so we should be able to switch.
So you can just go out and
Well, get where
get a
we.
bid from wherever you wish.
Do you see a problem with it, Fred, without being caught? Would you feel comfortable with Smith and Son or somebody like
I'm
that?
sure they're cut a little bit, they have to be Smiths. I don't think they're cutting no 50/50, that's the difference in your 15 cents a gallon. I
You-
wasn't going 20%, the other one's going 50/50.
But you said you were using Smith previously, right?
Yeah,
Any problems with the fuel
no,
previously?
No, we never had trouble with this fuel. But the only reason I switched, because they forced us to. On that, once that contract, I didn't realize they sucked all these things into one contract, but that won't happen again, so I'll never sign it again with those guys. Do we need to get written quotes for that, or do we just pick up another fuel company?
I would,
I
how
got-
how much are you talking about?
Well, it
Again,
was,
I mean, you'd have to comply
looks like
with
it's about 20 cents, 20
procurement policy. I mean, how much are
20 cents a
you,
gallon.
much you're gonna be buying at once?
Well, how big's our tank, Fred?
2,000 gallon tank.
We've been getting when we got, you'll see the bills in there, last month, to run our trucks, when we're salting all the time with that fuel, $8,600 for a month in January. But, I mean, I don't have the gallons right here, but when I figured it up, they had 700 gallons, you'll see in the bills.
I mean, do you believe that you're going to exceed $20,000 for the remainder of the year?
Well, it depends, if it's warmer, we won't, it's hard to tell, if you're plowing, you might, I don't know.
You could tap for a week or run straight for a week, you don't know, depends on what it's gonna do for us.
But on 700 gallons, you'll notice in your bills, they charge you for 350 of fuel, diesel fuel, 350 of kerosene. So the price of the tank, just on 700 gallons, we'd save $100. So, I said to that guy, he was trying to be defensive, well, I want apples to apples. I said, I don't care, I don't need it cut. Ours are inside, so I don't see needing it.
My point is, if you believe that you're going to exceed purchase contract amount of $20,000, then you have to competitively bid, to request a bid and publish it in the newspaper.
The only trouble, by the time all that comes and they read it, the winter will be over. We won't between now and, I don't think we'll go over 20,000 between now and
Trying.
You're going to be into summer, hopefully shortly.
Because, I mean, it's gonna be warm all the rest of this week, it's supposed to be getting it wet here, yep, March and April. I wouldn't think you'd be over 20, because even if we had 2 more months like January, we still wouldn't be over. So we should.
And in that case, just need to follow the procurement policy and obtain quotes.
I did that already, I got from Griffith, and I got it from Smith's, and I got it from Vancourt. Vancourt was $4.39 a gallon. So they're way out of whack compared to the others. Smith's was $3.35, and this other one was $3.55, Griffith.
How long is the price good for?
They changes, it could change weekly, they don't know that, varies all the time. But Smith will guarantee that he'll stick with a state contract, which so does the other one, but the other one has to mix it, and Smith doesn't have to, because the state's not involved.
So his state is, he's gonna guarantee it, but he's not he doesn't provide or supply the fuel per state contract, is that right?
He didn't get state contract, no.
But he's telling you that he would not exceed that.
He always did, yep, he always kept it the same as, he does the same exact amount as a state
It's hard to
contract.
deal with the state.
But I thought you said the state contract though exceeded 3.
Only because he had to mix it with kerosene.
Yeah, so
Smith doesn't have to, so he
the
gets
state
this.
contract though, it has to be greater than what Smith is charging.
It is, yeah, 20 cents a gallon more.
And he's telling you that for the rest of the winter, he will not exceed the state contract.
Right.
He's a little bitter now.
Anybody find a reason not to change? To me, I mean, they're pounding us with that kerosene that we don't really need. We need a motion to make a change in fuel companies.
So you wanna stick with Smith and Sons, is that what you're saying?
Well, I wanted to go back to, we're Griffith.
Right, you had to switch because they told you you had to, but
Yeah.
you wanna.
Want to be able to switch back
Okay.
to,
There is no requirement that you utilize Smith, that company for a year. You're not gonna be signing a contract, so
No.
if his prices rise beyond the level that's acceptable to the board can go back out and request another bid.
right. He never did before when we had him, he stayed at state contract price. I don't know why he didn't get state contract again, this time, but they gave it to Griffith, and like I said, Griffith is at state contract too, but he also has to have the kerosene state contract price and mix them together, so it makes it go up. So,
I'll make a motion that we go to lower price vendor for fuel.
I'll second it. You're not billing for a year though, are you?
no, we'll just tell them to start bringing it. I'm gonna check with Griffith to make sure they don't have any big heart attack, but,
We're with Griffith now.
yeah. I'll check with them first and tell them whenever our next delivery date is, they won't be coming, if that's the case.
So the resolution will just state that you
Go to
have to go to the lowest bidder, lowest price.
Vendor, yeah.
Okay, we need a vote, please. Ronnie?
Yes.
Joey?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes,
Jeannie?
Yes.
Herb?
Yes.
and I also might want to do the same thing with heating fuel in here. To heat this hall and garage for the month, from January 19th to February 13th, $6,880. And, you know, you can watch the thermostat some, but I'll tell you what, we've got to do better somehow. And one, we can get, I'm sure we can get better prices by checking around. The ones I checked on so far, I think Griffiths was Adirondack Energy is $344. Smith was $340. Vancourt was $379.9. So, I mean, there's that varies too. And so, I think maybe checking into the cheaper vendor there also, and also maybe watching our thermostats a little bit. I know you've been pretty good at chasing them around, Fred, but it's been a problem out there, they like it warm. It's hard building the heat out there. And maybe in the future, we'll have to look at some kind of supplemental thing that we can use, I don't know.
That's all cut, that kerosene too. I mean,
That's
Fuel
just
oil.
fuel oil, yeah, that's already set.
in the furnace.
Yeah, that's all set. That's all comes, you don't charge us twice for that, so. But,
Yeah,
So you're not involved in a contract with
not that
regard
I
to
my knowledge, no.
fuel oil?
Not to my knowledge, I'm gonna double check, I'll call and check anyways, but to my knowledge, we're not. And before I switched, I checked with them anyways, but, I'd like permission of the board to check into that, and if we can get a lower, cheaper vendor to go with. So we need a motion on that.
I'll make a motion. that we can do that.
I'll second it, yeah.
This is heating oil for
Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna have to get long johns out there or something, so, yeah. Under Armour.
Okay, and a vote,
Yeah,
please.
I just-
Ronnie?
Yes.
Jeannie?
Yeah,
Herb?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Joey?
Yes.
I think we need Under Armour out there or something, Fred. We're gonna have to get insulated boots and Under Armour.
Close her down for the winter.
What I think is we could do maybe in there too, is get some kind of heater for your office and not keep the outside where you're working quite so warm, just keep it in the office, because your office gets cold, I know that, and then that's no good, but I think we can put something in there. The office is a small enough unit, you maybe could put an electric one in there or something and still be all right. And then keep it a little cooler out in the.
Well, you know, the way the winter's been, you didn't need it. You couldn't get a shot of actually cold weather.
Oh, yeah, I don't know
We
yet.
cut that in the store about 5 years ago. We cut that kerosene up in the fuel oil, and we haven't had no trouble, but we're just lucky.
We've been lucky, yeah. But now, see, the reason I'm not quite so concerned is our trucks are all inside. So once you
Yeah.
start them and they got the heater on
That's
them,
right.
I don't see what's gonna happen to them. And if we find it being a problem, Fred sees it a problem, we'll cut it ourselves, not a big deal. Dump some into each tank if you have to. Let's see. Put that other paper.
Kind of missing the ballgame. Kind of missing the ballgame. Yeah, move the deal here.
Syracuse? Syracuse?
Syracuse went up there yesterday, so. Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, I got one, but there's no sense, it's probably right here, but I don't wanna keep digging. Transfers, the following budget transfers were needed as of 2011. And I think, I guess I didn't, I'll just read it. Do you have it? Okay, you can take a look at those. That's what we had to do at the end of the year to switch money back and forth from different categories to, because of the flood and whatnot, to make things connect, so there's money in each account. So I need a motion to accept those transfers.
I'll make a motion to accept the transfers.
I'll second it.
And a vote, please. Joey?
Yes.
Herb?
Yes.
Ronnie?
Yes.
Jeannie?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes. New truck should be coming soon. Do we need to do anything ahead of time to get that money out of that special account?
Which account is it in?
It's highway equipment fund. It's
Reserve account?
yeah.
Yes, we're gonna have to. When do you need it?
Well, it's not here yet, but I just think it's coming.
It was in Texas, we had it all built, and it was headed this way. We're supposed to let the-
How long will it take if I don't do anything this month? It'll take a while. Excuse me.
It will be a resolution, I believe, subject to a permissive referendum.
Yeah, that's what we did before.
And within 10 days after the adoption of the resolution, you have to put a notification in the newspaper, and the resolution won't be effective for 30 days from the date of adoption.
Okay.
You're talking at least, if you do it next month, at least a month after that.
You're talking April, it should be here.
Yeah, I think if you do it next month, you should.
Next month, and that way we'll have our figures straightened out too, so we'll know what we have to switch. Okay, that was my concern. Next month, of course, the money back in the budget and stuff, we'll have a supervisor's report back by next month, that's what we usually do. Guess approval of bills is next.
I'll make a motion to accept for approval of this.
I second it.
And a vote, please. Larry?
Yes.
Jeannie? Yes. Herb?
Yes.
Ronnie?
Yes.
Joey?
Yes.
We need to pay for this. Doesn't get away from us. We're letting that loose.
Oh, no.
Very good, Jeannie, give me homework.
Hang on to this with both hands. It's a little slippery.
You wash it
We already bailed everybody out. Our rocks got moved down there, right?
They took a lot out.
I don't know if he's done, cause his permit lasts till September. But, he did get down in there and pull
Yeah.
rocks out. I haven't gotten a chance to get down there and look at it, but, do you leave enough room for the water? I wonder.
I haven't really gone down
Yeah.
to check it either, but I know they've hauled a lot of loads out of there. They had a big pile at one time, and
Pile it up, and then I know we had 2 or 3 trucks going at once, so
Yeah.
that's pretty good. At least we got some satisfaction there. Anything else anybody got to bring before the board? Okay, entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn, please.
I'll second it.
Get that ball game, right? Ball game.
Description of the vehicle, and we have an amount not to exceed. So, let's see.
Like watching that ball game, Jeannie?
You get
I didn't miss it.
Okay,
That was a good
I'm
game.
gonna leave some in there to keep it open and take the rest out.
Yeah, whatever you're gonna need.
Thanks, folks, for coming. I don't know if you got any information